my fellow humans, and welcome back to Scatter Love Tarot with your girl, coming at you with another pick a card reading. Today we are doing messages from your ancestors. First, I do want to say thank you to anyone and everyone that continues to be a part of this ever-growing tribe, this channel, this journey. I'm truly honored to be sharing this time and this space with you. And for those of you that are new here, welcome. This is that reminder that we're all here sharing this human experience, and that this is a safe space to show up as your highest, most aligned, loving, authentic self. Should these messages happen to resonate with you, it means so much to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe below. And if you're interested in supporting the channel further, you'll find all those links below in the description box. You can email me for a personal reading. You can follow me on over to my podcast on Spotify at Scatterlove Radio. You can even join as a member, and I would love to see you on memberships. But if not, thank you for your continued support here. And with that being said, I do just want to quickly mention that today's reading is literally going to be an open book. It's going to be whatever your ancestors want to bring in. We're not asking a direct message today, but we're going to see what the overall message is from your ancestors, what they want you to know at this time. And I feel like that's it. Oh, I do have a new deck that I'm using today. It's called Ancestor Spirit Oracle Cards by Jade Sky. These are absolutely beautiful and incredible, and I'm really love that these were calling out to me today to be heard. So we'll get into it and find out what your ancestor messages are. Let's go ahead and start with a prayer and get this underway. I feel like a weird scratch in my throat. Excuse me. So I do feel like the collective message is expression. But let's see here. Let me give that another light just to ensure it's good to go. Alright, my beloved source, this prayer is for any and all who come onto this reading, whether it's for the entire time or just for a moment. I ask that you remind them how strong they are and how powerful they are to make decisions in their life that are going to lead them to their highest path of purpose, and that there really is no wrong decision. That every moment that we live in this life and every breath that we take is preordained. Even though we have free will, it will still lead us back to what is home for us, even if it's the long way home. We'll still get there. We'll still learn the necessary lessons. We'll still go through the things that will help us grow and help us gain emotional clarity and well-being and maturity. It will help us to let go of our connections and our attachments to things that no longer are serving us. Sometimes we do have to learn what seems like a difficult lesson. It's just teaching us in a way that we'll never forget, and we'll always remember how powerful we are at our core. That it's okay for us to feel the whole range of emotions. That in difficult times, if we need to be angry, or we need to feel resistance, or we need to be sad or upset or frustrated, that's okay. To instead of pushing these emotions away or these feelings away, to sit with them as though they're our best friend, because they are still a part of us. And in those moments when we're feeling joy and excitement, amazement and wonderment, can we equally sit with these emotions as though they too are our best friends? For in truth, they are a beautiful part of us. That nothing is truly separate from us, that we are all one and one as all. And then when we come into this understanding and understanding, we begin to see the patterns as they are unfolding, that they are actually truly for our greatest good. But also understanding that maybe not all of us are ready to hear this, and that is okay. That that's just a part of this journey, that some of us just aren't ready to be there, and that there's no forcing that. That you will help guide them, help hold their hand, and help bring them to this understanding in due time, when their spirit and their emotional egoic self and their conscious self are ready and willing to open up to the deepest truth that there is. I ask that you remind all of us that we are protected, we are held, we are deeply loved, and we are understood by something we might not be able to see, but if we open our hearts, we are surely able to feel. As these words are spoken unto this space and unto this reading among this tribe, so shall they be. Amen. Aho. Ase. Thank you, thank you, thank you, my beloved source. Thank you. Let me go ahead and hang that up. The stick on this one is really shallow. I don't know if it's going to sit in there. Let me see if I can turn it and get it to hang. There we go. I think I got it. Okay, I think we're good. Okay, so I already gave these a good shuffle. Chufle, chufle. And let's go ahead and start. So ancestors, what ancestor spirit oracle card will help us better understand the message you have for pile number 1? Okay, that's the one they want. They want both. Okay. All right, I'll take it. I'm not going to argue with the ancestors. All right, ancestors for pile number 2. What ancestor oracle card will help us better understand the message you have for pile number 2? Ancestors for pile number 2. Okay, thank you. These cards are so wide. All right. And ancestors for pile number 3. What ancestor spirit oracle card will help us better understand the message that you have for pile number 3? What will help us better understand the message you have for pile number 3, ancestors? What will better help us understand the message you have for pile number 3? Okay. Thank you. Okay, collective message. We have move your body, dance, breathe, and flow. Getting back in touch with our core self, right? And allowing ourselves to be fluid and free and not so rigid in life anymore. And of course, this is in Hawaii. She's a hula girl. And hula dance is a very fluid dance, right? It's not so harsh. It's very loving and free. And so there's this energy coming in reminding us that it is okay for us to flow in a beautiful way in regards to our lives and in regards to ourselves. Okay, so let me make sure these are in frame. All right, so for pile number 1, we do have this beautiful green aventurine for you to choose from. Let me turn on the light. Okay. For pile number 2, we have this purple, or I'm sorry, this is a grape agate. And pile number 3, we have this piece of yellow citrine. So pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3, and whichever one you feel drawn to, that should be the pile for you. With that being said, I will see you over on your chosen pile. Hello, my fellow human. If you were drawn to this beautiful piece of green aventurine, or if you were drawn to this card here, let me still say that, okay. then this is going to be your ancestor message for you. You did get 2 of these cards, but we'll check those out towards the end. First, I do want to say thank you to anyone and everyone that continues to be a supportive part of this journey, this channel, this ever-growing tribe. I am truly honored to be sharing this time and this space with you. And for those of you new here, welcome. This is that reminder that we're all here sharing this human experience, and that this is a safe space to show up as your highest, most aligned, loving, authentic self. Should these messages happen to resonate with you, it would mean so much to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe down below. With that being said, let's go ahead and hop to it and find out what messages the ancestors have for you. So ancestors of highest light and love, what messages do you have for pile number 1? Ancestors of highest light and love, what messages do you have for pile number 1? What would you like to tell them today? Okay, so we've got first house over here off the camera. We've got Sagittarius and the Sun. A lot of fiery energy. You have Aries, Leo, and Sag energy all coming out together. So a lot of fire. I'm hearing Leo in the first house, in Moon, Leo in Uranus. Okay, that was random. And Leo and Pluto. I don't know why there's a lot of Leo coming through. So it feels like with that, like that fiery energy, it just feels very like up and going and creating a lot of momentum through your personality, through being big, through allowing yourself to be seen, and letting people know that you're not afraid to be authentic here. And the ancestors are very proud of how far you've come here, especially with the first house, showing that you have made a lot of changes in regards to the way you show up, your appearance, and the way that you see life. Like, you're always evolving. You're always growing. You've spiritually ascended to great heights, and we're bringing you into a leadership position here. But we want you to have fun with this. You are sometimes an extremely serious person, and I feel like that's why all this fire is coming through, because it's like you're doing something that you're actually incredibly passionate about, pile 1, and the ancestors want you to use that passion as the fuel for moving forward in regards to this leadership position, understanding that you have exactly what it takes to fulfill this position, whatever it is, whether that is a side project, whether that is your own business, whether that it is a job, a career, wherever it is that you have really a lot of love and passion and you like what you do, they want you to use that passion and fuel yourself forward, because there are going to be moments of monotony on the journey. There are going to be moments where things seem very boring and you're going to be like, oh, like, I love what I do, but this is so boring. And they're like, that's just a part of being a leader. Not everything is going to be glamorous, but it doesn't mean that you can't make it glamorous, right? It doesn't mean that you can't spend time saying like, wow, what do I really like? What's going to really make me feel good today? Like, how can I shake things up a little bit? How can I make things exciting? How can I really like pour myself into the creativity and the adventure? Do I need to travel more? Do I need to take more vacations? Do I need to learn more and use that knowledge to help me bring a more expansive view to the people that I am leading? Do I need to get down and go back to the basics and really dive in and be a part of the crew instead of just above the crew? They're saying just think about this outside of the box and bring this really playful, light energy to whatever it is that you're being called to be a leader in, and to be that explorer and to instill that exploration into other people as well. And I feel like that's what's going to be really a turning point for you here that the ancestors would like to highlight, because you are someone who has the ability to inspire the multitude based on your personality. And they want you to do that in the leadership. You know, it can be serious, and there are definitely going to be moments where you will need to be serious. But if you're serious 100% of the time, people aren't going to see that shining side of you that's truly authentic. It's just like putting on the face like, oh, I have to be so serious all the time. And they're saying, no, no, no. That's not at all what you need. You need to bring the bright side. You need to bring this peaceful energy with you. You need to bring this warrior-like energy with you. So it's like putting on many hats, but they're hats that you would normally wear in your private life anyways. And so they want you to share those hats with those that you are leading. Okay, ancestors, what messages do you have for pile number 1? What messages do you have for pile number 1, ancestors? Thank you. What messages do you have for pile number 1? Yeah, Sagittarius, 2nd house. Venus. Yeah. Sagittarius and Venus. Okay. What messages do you have for pile number 1, ancestors? Now, there's something here where you're repressing yourself from being 100% authentic. It's like you're afraid people are going to judge you, or they're going to not see you as a leader. Yeah, peer pressure. Okay. Yeah. Like, I feel like for you, pile 1, you were always raised to appear a certain way. Like if your parents were in business, you know, that was always like everything has to be very strict and stern, and like we have to be very business minded here. We have to show up in a place where we're very everything to a T. It has to be very policy oriented, very perfectionist oriented here. And with this, the dice compared to the cards here, now I understand why the dice came out the way that they did, because we're trying to help you let go of this energy of feeling like you have to close yourself off to the funner side of yourself or the goofy side of yourself. Because I feel like when you're relaxed, you're actually a very outgoing, very goofy person. And when you're leading others, it's not that you're not outgoing, but there's just an edge to the way that you show up. And they want you to soften that edge in the way that you show up in life and bring a little bit more free spirit to your daily routine, your daily habits. Yeah, we have the 3 of Wands on the bottom in the upright. Like, you have bigger and better places to go. And part of that is going to take a lightheartedness coming in, this energy of freedom coming in. Right? What do we got? Yeah, look, the 10 of coins underneath that. Definitely something to do with where you have a lot of attention, where you're trying to manifest in the material world. And, you know, taking it quickly here, like quickly changing. Look at these positive cards here. We have the Empress underneath that. The Queen of Swords here. Yeah, it's really not being afraid to be serious when you need to, but to soften the edges here with the Empress. And again, this makes me feel like that's what they're saying. Like, if you have Sagittarius and Venus, find out more about what that means, right? They're not really giving me too much on it here, and don't have enough time to really look into that for you, so I apologize, because I feel like that's for someone very specific here. But they're showing me here that it's like you have a tendency to always be in this Queen of Swords energy because there's something here to protect, right? There's something here to take care of, and there's something here that deserves that respect, which is absolutely true. They're agreeing with you on that. But We also want you to soften the edges and not always feel like you have to rush in and cut people out, or rush in and be very strict about the way that you're showing up. You are very open with the way that you communicate, which is very powerful in and of itself. But sometimes that communication is just very cold and distant because it's easier to stay disassociated from anything, especially when it's work. Like, sometimes being emotionally involved in things at work does not get you very far, and that's understandable. But what they're saying is that you have this grand ability to show up as this person in the Empress energy who can help lead others by grace and kindness and compassion and understanding. And sometimes this part of you gets pushed behind the door because it feels like you always have to be in this stern, cold energy, like, well, I'm the boss. And it's not like you're trying to be like, well, I'm big and you're small. It's not that energy. It's just that I'm the boss and I need to be seen in a certain light. But they're showing here that that is actually something that was instilled in you by other people, and that's why you repress this part of yourself. It's because of peer pressure, people you grew up around, people who know you to be a certain way in the business world, people who see you, and this could even be life, right? This doesn't even have to be with business. I mean, the 10 of Coins definitely does point at with something material that you're trying to manifest, something in the physical world. But it could have to do with relationships. It could have to do with friendships, with partnerships, with connections of any kind. This could just be in general, like as soon as you leave the door, when you close the front door, like you leave that softer side behind you because I have to be really, really stern out in the world. It wouldn't surprise me, pile one, if you identified with the divine masculine. And if not, that doesn't mean that this message is not for you. But it just wouldn't surprise me if I had a lot of divine masculines on pile number one. And if you'd identify with a divine feminine, for you, it's about safety. It's about protecting that softer side of yourself because it's been taken advantage of. It's been betrayed. It's been hurt. It's been, put through the ringer. And even if you don't, like if you're a divine masculine, maybe that's happened to your divine feminine side as well. What we see here, it's like, I don't want to face reality. I'm unsure of bringing this part of myself out because in the past, it seems to have gotten me in trouble, or it seems to have created a rift in my life. It seems to have created a part of me where if I grow too big for that, like the divine feminine, if the divine feminine grows too big, if the divine feminine is allowed to blossom, it's just going to get chopped off, and that's going to hurt me more than it hurts others. But we have a bigger plan for you here to help you come into a place of real abundance. Whether that's finances, whether that is in life, in health, in wealth, in well-being, whatever it is, it has to do with the physical world, which you can touch, taste, see, hear, and feel. And we're trying to bring you into an overabundance of that with the 10 of Coins here. And you're very much rushing towards this, but you'll rush towards this even faster when you lean into this divine feminine energy with the Empress here. This is actually truer to your nature than being in that harsh masculine energy here. And we have masculine, masculine, masculine energy, masculine energy, masculine energy, and the feminine is this, right? Masculine energy. So you have very little feminine energy being represented in your reading. They're showing that's why, but look at how much of the masculine is in the reverse. And yeah, you could say, well, that's a woman, that's a woman, that's a woman. But we're looking at the signs here. You have air signs, Leo. I'm sorry. Let me try that again. You have Gemini, Aquarius, and Libra. Leo, Libra, Libra, Aquarius, and Aries. Okay, so we're looking at the actual root element of the sign, showing that that's masculine. Anything that's air and anything that's fire is a very masculine trait. Anything that is earth or water is a feminine trait, and both of these represent Earth. You have Taurus energy or Libra energy, because Libra is ruled by Venus. Taurus is also ruled by Venus, but this is a feminine card by nature. And then you have Virgo energy here. And Virgo's a very patient energy, very humble. Their sign is the Virgin, right? And so we're trying to bring you back into this innocent place where you can begin to trust that leaning into this divine feminine will give you more power than being in this cold, calculating energy where it's like, I have to always protect things because of the ambushes, the betrayals, the hurts that I went through in my past. And that's why it's hard for you, because you see she's pointing towards the past here with her sword up, and it's like, I'll cut you out of my life without even thinking twice about it, because I've had to do that. I've had to be put in a position where I had to do that. But when you look at a queen versus the empress, it's like looking at a king versus the emperor. The emperor and the empress have a higher decree than the queen and the king. And so this is more reality coming in here. We're trying to raise up our vibration and come into a higher vibration to really connect with not only our divine purpose, but understanding that your ability to protect yourself here lies in your softness, as well as in those hard, calculating, cold moments where you really have to cut people out. So this is about really opening up to your discernment, and that's what the ancestors' message is for you here. And with the Three of Cups here on the bottom of these cards in the reverse, we see that it's come from a childhood wound where it's like you had to be the one that took care of your parents, maybe emotionally, maybe physically, maybe being there for them, and that was never your job, but you were put in a position where you were emotionally neglected by your parents in a way, and so you were the one that was providing an emotional outlet for them at some cost, right? That's cost to yourself. And they're showing you here that that's caused an early onset broken heart that puts you into this place. And the page represents someone who's young-minded, doesn't have experience yet, is still unsure of the decisions to make. And with the Strength card here, we see that this is one of the demons that's very difficult for you to face. So it's because of this close-knit connections that you had growing up, or this dependency that you had on connections or with people who weren't capable of being a support system or emotionally mature for you on the journey. And letting go of that and realizing that you're the one who gets to be the emotional support system for yourself now. Even in this leadership position, like, people are going to show up crooked. People are going to show up sideways. But equally so, they're going to be people who show up and who mirror the same type of respect and emotional maturity that you have. We can't do anything about the people who show up crooked and sideways. Like, that's just a part of life. Some people are just going to be that way. Right? And that is never, ever a reflection on you or what you're bringing to the table. That is a reflection of that person and how they're triggered by you, they're jealous of you, or they're seeing a part of themselves that you have embodied that they wish desperately to embrace, but have no idea how to go about that. Right? And so you have to let those people just be who they are. And those are the people you use that cold and calculating energy with, while there's still that underlying understanding, right? And understanding too, like understanding that we can all really be so disconnected from ourselves that we aren't able to show up as our best selves, right? When we're disconnected from us, we're not sure, or we're indecisive, or we're just in this place of not wanting to face the reality of the truth. Like, I'm throwing out my triggers onto you. I'm projecting my triggers onto you because I feel like it's your problem, when in reality, that's an internal problem, right? And we've all been there. It's very human of us to do. But finding out how to mirror back someone's energy in a loving way, in an unconditional loving way, it doesn't mean being a doormat. It doesn't mean going and letting this person walk all over you. It's saying, let's use this ability to our advantage, saying that I can stand in this very strong energy when I need to, that's still feminine because of the queen energy, but it's very masculine, right? This is when a feminine steps outside of herself and she allows the divine masculine to take over. But equally so, I can stand in a power position in my divine feminine and set solid boundaries, knowing that this person, while it might seem personal, it's not actually personally directed at me, because it's something that's coming from deep within. And that what it's really triggering, if it feels personal within you, the ancestors are showing, is a deep-seated wound that was put onto you from generational curses. This has been passed on from family member to family member, and it's created a bit of a stalemate along the way. Okay, and so when you let go of this repressed energy and you begin to open up and express yourself freely, you're going to see things change rather quickly for you here, and it's going to feel really good, right? You're going to feel really good about yourself and how you're putting yourself out there. Let's get some oracles out here. We have Aquarius energy. I'm not actually surprised that this made it onto the board here. We have originality, philanthropy, and progressive imaginings. This is being unique to yourself. Like, you already bring such a unique energy into whatever it is that you do, and the more you express yourself, the more you're going to stand out in that bold expression. And that's something it's absolutely incredible. But we see here that it's been a mountain to climb, and that's where your emotions flow freely, is once you get to the top of that mountain and you're able to see all perspectives. You're able to see everyone from where they're coming from, the good, the bad, the beautiful, the ugly. When you see everyone from where it is that they're coming from, when you see people from a place that not everybody wants to see others from, including the past, right? Then your emotions begin to flow freely, and you've grown so much that now the divine can flow through you and bring whatever it needs to as an expression through you as a unique individual. We have trine, angelic support, harmony, and perfect flow. Yeah, so again, going back to that, I'm going to leave this out because I feel like it wants to be seen. Underneath that, we have North Node, destined to have. Okay, so you're destined to be in this leadership position. So I was curious. We have North Node, Aries, Leo, and then Mercury with Gemini here, which is communication. So definitely a lot of fire energy is coming out here in your reading. You could absolutely be an Aries, Leo, Sag, or have a fire trine. It wouldn't surprise me if you have a fire trine in your chart. There's also an energy coming in where you might have a triple fire sign. So a sun, moon, rising is Aries, sun, moon, rising is Leo, sun, moon, rising as Sagittarius, which is actually not as common as you think. So we're going to get some more cards out here, ancestors. What more would you like to tell? Oh, okay. Pile number 1. On the bottom here, we have Mother God, miracles in motion. Look at this. This is all about alignment. And again, Mother God, right? Like with the divine feminine. We have 42 up here, which is 6, and that balance. And that's going to bring in a lot of prosperity into your life. And it's recognizing that just because the feminine side is soft never makes it weak. It is actually just as stable and strong as the masculine side. It is just 2 different ways to bring that about, right? Okay, so let's see here. Let's get some more for you. Ancestors, what other messages would you like to tell? Okay, they want one more of these. Pile number 1. Okay, thank you. We have on the bottom, shapeshifter, transform, and unveil your gifts. I cannot make this up. You are someone who is very capable of mirroring people. And while that is a beautiful talent and skill to have, a gift, if you will, what they're saying is that now it's time for you to let go of mirroring people and just be true to your authentic self. Whatever it is, a part of you that wants to be expressed. Like if you want to sing silly songs, sing silly songs. If you want to, make funny voices, make funny voices. If you have silly jokes to share, be silly. If you just want to like put your hat sideways and stick out your tongue and cross your eyes, then do that, right? This is about you being authentic to yourself. And they're really pointing out the silly side of things. And I love that Aquarius came out because Aquarians are actually extremely silly, right? Like all the Aquarians that I have known will have me in stitches because they are hilarious and silly and goofy. And so that's, again, this energy. It's like, come back to this place of being original and not worrying about what other people are thinking about you, because there's something unique that will help others really lean on your leadership when you let yourself be seen as the person that you are behind closed doors that only certain people get privy information to. We have Hermit on the bottom. Seek solitude to focus intently on inner life. Serves personal creativity. Shadow attributes. Withdraws from society out of fear or negative judgment of others. Refusing to help those in need. And I feel like that's exactly what's been happening with this reading, is withdraws from society out of fear of negative judgment of others. Right? It's just an old pattern. This is not something that like, oh my gosh, like I'm so scared of people. That's not what they're saying here at all. They're just saying this is an old pattern coming to light. We have Healer that flipped over. Passion to serve others by repairing the mind, body, and spirit. Ability to help transform pain into healing. The shadow attributes are taking advantage of those who need help and failing to care for oneself. And I feel like right here they're showing that it's been difficult for you to care for yourself because there's a part of you that you might be denying along the way. And that's something that the ancestors have made abundantly clear here. But you're getting help to let that go. A lot of this like light blue, light green, like seafoam green energy, which is like a mixture of both the heart and the throat chakra here. And so you might feel a lot of times this lump that's somewhere in between your throat and your heart. Like it just feels like it. Or you deal with heartburn, like heavy heartburn right there. Or just feeling like there's a weight on your chest that you can never get off. They're saying that when you begin to express yourself here, that's going to free up that chi right there. And that energy is going to begin flowing freely once again. So let's get a couple of angel messages out here. Can we please have some angel messages on this ancestor's message for pile 1? Okay, guardian angel and forgiveness and understanding. Okay, I'm going to put those there. And do the work on the bottom. Yeah, so they want you to do the work. Look, I cannot make this up. That's exactly where I was thinking that energy is right between your throat and your heart. And it's like, open this part of yourself up. Do this work. Let yourself be seen. Don't be afraid of what people are going to think of you. Or don't be afraid of not being seen as a leader. People respect you already. And it's like, just being yourself, they're going to respect you more. They're not going to like be like, oh my gosh, can you believe pile number 1? Like, they're so weird. Why would we ever respect them? No, they're going to be like, oh man, I'm so glad pile number 1 lets themselves be free, because now I feel like I too can be my freest self. Like, I don't have to be all weird and so strict all the time, right? Someone new is coming. An important new relationship is on the horizon. Open your mind and heart so that happiness can enter your life. So this is also going to help bring you to the people who are your soul family, okay? This is the completion of a cycle for you. Let's take a look at these angel cards. We have guardian angel and forgiveness and understanding. And look, they're both have their hand over their hearts in that space that I was talking about. So this is where there's a lot of blocked energy here. And the heart chakra is the bridge to the spiritual realm. The more ethereal chakras, right? The throat chakra, the ajna chakra, and the sahasrara. And so with anahata, when we have a block between anahata and our vishuddha chakra, we're not able to speak with love. We're not able to see ourselves through eyes of love. Even we're not even able to speak love to ourselves, and it might be something that you've been struggling with for a time being, but your angels and your ancestors are here to help you forgive yourself, to forgive past trespasses, and to become this understanding individual we're talking about with Aquarius, that when you see from all perspectives, right? That maybe it was personal, maybe it wasn't personal, but how can I let this go and let myself fuel my journey? Not from this place of feeling resentment, guilt, and hurt anymore, but coming into a place of love and light and letting my angels and guides and ancestors really guide the way for me here. All right, so let's see what else came out. We have the altar of air. This is clarity, and this card actually does link in with the Ace of Swords, and so you have this truth that's coming through here. Again, speaking your truth. And we have these gold butterflies around here, which is like divine transformation. This is a message coming directly down from the crown into your body to help you realign. There is no letting this go. This is something that's destined to happen on your journey, whether it comes through you surrendering and releasing yourself to it, or if it comes from those more harsh lessons where it's like we're forced to transform. And I'm not saying that to scare you. That's not what your ancestors want. They don't want to scare you. They're just telling you, like, this is the next part of your journey. So when we have the trine card come out, and didn't I say there might be a fire trine too? Interesting. Okay. I think I said that. Did I say that after this card? Anyways, it's just interesting because I feel like that's a message for someone who has a fire trine. You could have just a trine in your chart too, but I feel like a fire trine, this is really for someone who has a fire trine. But what the ancestors are really pointing out here is that they're going to help you with this no matter what. So they're going to help guide you to situations and put you in positions that may be very difficult, that are going to force you to let this softer side of you come out, because there's not going to be any other alternative. If the masculine side comes out, you're going to learn some very harsh lessons, and that's going to always revert you back to, let's be the softer feminine energy, right? Which can be very difficult for a lot of people. We're healing the wounded masculine right now, and so to embody this, you know, divine feminine energy, it is a challenge for a lot of people. So don't feel like this is impossible. Just open up to the possibilities that could happen if you allow yourself to be soft. And if you're like, I don't know how, they're saying you can absolutely ask for guidance, and they will bring you that guidance, and they'll give you synchronicities, they'll give you signs, they'll help get you to that place. You're not alone right now. Yeah, my right eye is just like tripping out right now. It feels like someone poked me in my eye. Right seeing. Yeah. Look, the mountains, stand your ground. Wow, this is powerful energy. Again, once you get to the top of the mountain, it's like seeing it from a whole nother perspective here, right? This is like understanding that you aren't soft just because you're embodying soft energy, right? Kindness is not weakness. We're not telling you that you're going to have to be weak here. We're telling you that there's a greater strength for you when you embody this softer energy, which now it makes sense as to why all this fire and air has come out in your reading. And then we have the mirror guardian, take time to reflect. And didn't I say that, like, you mirror people? Like, you've mirrored people for a long time. It's a skill that you've learned throughout your life. It's definitely been something that's extremely useful. But now it's time to look in your own mirror, into your own inner world here, and let that inner world reflect back to you the answers that you need. That's why we have the time to reflect here. You're getting this guidance. You're getting this truth. You're getting this inner knowing that's going to help take you to the next level. Very powerful. We have liberator, freeing yourself and others from outmoded beliefs, releasing negative thought patterns. Exactly. We have shadow attributes, imposing your own tyranny over those you claim to liberate and ignoring legitimate constraints. And I feel like the shadow attribute here is exactly what you grew up with. Like, it was like, it has to be my way or the highway. There is no other way that this can be. And that's why it's like easy for us to bury the divine feminine, because she's more creative and free and just wants the whole world to be in this connective energy. And when you're in this place of tyranny, it's very hard to let that be expressed. And so we're trying to bring you back. Like, the masculine is taking over her mind here. This is a man, and he has his hands over her crown. So it's definitely this energy of coming back to the divine feminine energy. We have make a decision. This is such a powerful card. It says, are you choosing to prioritize yourself or another in this situation? Accept divine guidance pointing you towards your own joy. You deserve it. And whatever image, I want you to take just a second. What image do you get drawn to the most? Okay, so if it is the sword here, right? If you're drawn to the sword, this is a mind thing. This is in your mind. This is a mental thing that you have to focus on. Okay, if you're drawn to the heart, this is all about opening up your heart and accepting this self-love, this care, this beauty, to let yourself be free in making positive decisions from the heart chakra. Okay, if you're drawn to this feather, then it means this is something that is outside of your control here. And that, again, the angels are here helping guide you. So that is going to deepen the message for a lot of people here. So let's go ahead and take a look at your ancestor cards. Now, you're the only pile that got 2 of these. Let me grab the book. And we'll read these from the book. So we have connect with past loved ones, sense, feel, and reconnect. And we have the Dia de los Muertos right here being depicted at the top here. Okay. So, and this is really powerful energy, actually. This is really powerful. Sense and feel. We want you to feel. We don't want you to think here. We want you to feel. Connect. These are alphabetized. Give me just a second to get to that one. Okay. So this says the Aztecs had a complex cosmology and ritual calendar dedicated to their many deities. They held a strong belief in the afterlife and thought the way they died determined whether they would go up in spirit to the sun god or down to the dark underworld. The underworld was ruled by the god and goddess of the dead. And I apologize if I mispronounce these, but I will try. We have Mictlantecuhtli and Mictecatchihuatl. As a guardian of the afterlife, Mictecatchihuatl oversaw festivals of the dead. Over time, her traditions evolved into Dia de los Muertos, the Day of the Dead, which in modern-day Mexico is celebrated on the 1st and 2nd days of November. During Dia de los Muertos, the gates of the underworld open and spirits are allowed to reunite with their families. The living and the dead reconnect with family feasts, dancing, and celebrations. It is believed that keeping the deceased loved ones happy will bring good luck, wisdom, direction, love, and protection for the living family. So this is also telling me that there are past loved ones in spirit here who are trying to give you this message. It says, ancestors speak. Pay attention to what you feel around you, as well as your 5 key physical senses. You have a 6th sense that connects you to the spiritual world. This card indicates that your 6th sense is strong. Your ancestors or loved ones in spirit are trying to get your attention. They're sending you signs that they are with you and love you very much. Watch for their signals and be open to connecting with them. Learn how to connect with your loved ones in spirit so they can bring guidance, confirmation, and encouragement in times of stress or trouble. You may have sensed your past loved ones when the hair on your arms rises, or when you feel heat or cold in and around your body. You may also experience sensation in your stomach or heightened need to be on alert. When this occurs, take a moment to ground, breathe deeply, clear your mind, and allow guidance to arise in your heart, mind, or feelings to sense. So we're trying to make you more sensitive to the things that are happening around you, okay? And they're going to bring you that guidance. And then we have laugh and have fun, smile, and positive energy and joyfulness. And I love this because that's that feminine energy, right? So let me bring up this one and I'll just read the one message on it because I feel like this was your main card here. Okay, so, and this is from the Eastern Himalayas. This is Bhutan. Bhutan is a name used by outsiders. It inhabits the inhabitants call their homeland Drukyul, meaning the land of the thunder dragon. Okay. So that's this place in this card. And it says, when was the last time you had a proper laugh? When did you laugh so hard your stomach hurt? And we talked about that feeling in the stomach. So again, there's also showing there's the knot here in your stomach they're trying to release. If it was too long ago to remember, it is time to plan a joy session. Watch some comedy, read a funny book, connect with some positive people. You may want to try a laughing meditation. If you have already had a good belly laugh today, have another one. You can never have too much laughter in life. Laughter and joy can help you through hard times. Laughter is truly the best medicine. It heals you and helps you to open yourself to positive energy. When you laugh, you become magnetic, drawing like-minded, positive people to you. Also, laughing is infectious. By increasing your gross personal happiness, you help others smile and laugh as well. You can help heal people who need a boost of positive energy. Smile, laugh, and giggle today. Okay, and again, that's what I was saying, like, to let go of that serious energy and come into this space of just lightheartedness and love, and that's going to help you out so greatly on your journey right now, okay? I love that. So this is what I see here for you. If you felt like this was your reading, leave the little laughing emoji down below and say, I become a great leader by letting laughter and joy be a part of my journey. If this resonated with you, it means so much to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe below. If you're interested in supporting the channel further, you will find all those links below in the description box in order to do so. You can email me for a personal reading. You can follow me on over to my podcast on Spotify at Scatter Love Radio. You can even join as a member, and I would love to see you on memberships, but if not, thank you for your continued support here. I'm going to go ahead and leave this here and get on out of here. I do want to take a quick second, though, to thank your guides, your spirit messengers, your angel source, and my guides for coming together to give us this message. And until next time, pile number one, stay human. Oh, and a shout out to the ancestors. Thank you, ancestors. Stay human, y'all. Bye. Hello, my fellow human. If you were drawn to this beautiful grape agate, or if you were drawn to this card during the shuffle, then this is going to be a reading on your ancestors' message for you. I do want to say thank you to anyone and everyone that continues to be a supportive part of this channel, this journey, this ever-growing tribe. I'm truly honored to be sharing this time and this space with you. And for those of you that are new here, welcome. This is that reminder that we're all here sharing this human experience and that this is a safe space to show up as your highest, most aligned, loving, authentic self. Should these messages happen to resonate with you, it means so much to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe down below. With that being said, though, let's hop on to it and find out what is your ancestors' message for you today. So, ancestors of highest light and love, what messages do you have for pile number 2 today? Ancestors of highest light and love, what messages do you have for pile number 2 today? Ancestors of highest light and love, what messages do you have for pile number 2? So we've got the 10th house, Saturn, and Taurus energy. Capricorn and Taurus energy coming out. Having to do with your work, or what it is that you put a lot of your attention towards. 10th house is usually career, path of purpose, accomplishments, life mission, those things. Okay, so right now I got the weirdest feeling underneath my eyes, down the sides of my nose, and I had to take my glasses off and start rubbing, kind of like in flow with my sinuses. So I feel like you oftentimes get stress headaches where you have to take some time, rub your head, let go of some frustrations, and reconnect. It came in so strong, it just overtook my body. And I had to do it, and then I had to talk about it. So, yeah, they're saying that there's a lot of barriers that you've had to face in regards to what your career is or what your path of purpose is. It's like a never-ending battle. That's what I keep hearing right now. It's a never-ending battle. When something starts to go right, it feels like suddenly something else fails. If it's not one thing, it's another. And your ancestors are pointing out that whatever it is that you're doing is the right thing for you to be doing. Okay? So if you're frustrated at work and you're ready to just throw in the towel, or if you know that this is not the job for you, this is not the career for you, may not be your message. There may be something in here for you, but this is really for those people who have just like, this is what I want to do. This is what I know I want to do. I want to put forth the effort. 3:33 on the clock when I was saying that. And I just feel so flustered and frustrated because it just feels like every day I'm hitting a road barrier or roadblock. I'm hitting a barrier. I'm hitting some form of past thought process that I have to face, or there's other people here that's out of my control and it feels like they're trying to take everything away from me. Or there's situations that are showing up where it's like, I just don't know what else I can do. But you're stubborn. I'll give you that. You're stubborn. And you stay true to the path. You're very loyal to this path. This is something you're incredibly loyal to. And your ancestors are applauding that. They're so amazed at the fact that no matter what life seems to throw at you, Pile 2, you never give up. And you learn so much. Like if you were to look at yourself today in this moment and compare yourself to last year or to when you first started this, you can see the change. It's very, very clear how much you have shifted in regards to your path of purpose, your divine mission in life. It's something you've chosen to do because you felt so guided to it. And you're wondering, is this something that I'm ever going to have some sense of stability with? And your ancestors are pointing out a few things here. You already have stability. Maybe not financial stability the way that you want. Maybe not emotional support stability the way that you want. Maybe not the certain type of stability that you're looking for in the way that you want. But what they're pointing out is that you do have stability. You can step over all those obstacles. And what we forget sometimes, Pile 2, is that the obstacles are the path. You're mastering the path. Like, you have come so far over the obstacles. When you look back, they're just little tiny things compared to whatever it is that you might be dealing with right now, or what you just recently have dealt with, or what you're going to deal with next. All those things that felt as big as what's present, now when you turn back, you're like, man, that was nothing. That was nothing compared to what I'm facing right now. And that's what your ancestors are here to show you. It's like you have chosen to do something that very few people choose to do. You've chosen to go the distance. You've chosen to be present. You've chosen to fight off whatever it is that was trying to hold you back. If someone told you can't, you said, watch me. If someone was like, oh no, that's failing, maybe you should give up, you said, watch me make it succeed. It's like no matter how much negativity has been thrown at you, you have somehow become completely at peace with, this is just my journey. This is just it. Is it ever going to change? And your ancestors, we'll get further into that, but I feel like your ancestors are just trying to remind you here that the obstacles are the path, and you're mastering the path. And that's so profound, because so many people, when they're in the path and those obstacles arise, it's like, yeah, I'm ready to battle a few obstacles, but then suddenly they start coming back to back to back nonstop. These obstacles keep appearing. And most people are like, well, that's obviously a clear sign that I'm not meant to be on it. And in reality, the more obstacles that you have on a path, the more you can be sure that that's what you're supposed to be doing. Because the obstacles arise to help us heal from whatever emotional traumas and wounds that we have. And they arise to help us let go of our past thought patterns and toxic behaviors. And they help us release those self-doubts and the feeling like we're not worthy. And so the obstacles can become quite a lot at one point, but you have faced each one of them head on, is the message with the dice. Let's get some cards out here. Ancestors of highest light and love, what messages do you have for pile number 2? What else would you like to say here? Okay, thank you. What else would you like to say here? Yeah, when so many people would feel spiritual defeat or just defeat in general, you somehow made it beyond that. You have a stamina that rivals the best of the best of the best. And I feel like they want you to celebrate that. What messages do you have for pile number 2 here? Thank you. Okay, ancestors, what message do you have for pile number 2? Thank you. Okay, ancestors, what message do you have for pile number 2? Thank you. Okay, these are clarifying each other, so we'll put that like that. All right, so on the bottom of the deck, we have, the 4 of Cups in the reverse. This is very profound, right? This is a very profound energy. It's just talking about emotional weakness, emotional turmoil, emotional instability, feeling completely overwhelmed by the things in life. And yes, you are, but somehow you have also learned how to overcome that, right? Facing the anxieties, letting things fall apart around you, even when it's completely uncomfortable, and still you journey. And still you move on, right? Tell everybody I'm on my way. I think that's from Brother Bear. Oh, that's cute. That's what it feels like, though. It's like it doesn't matter how hard the journey gets. You forge forward, right? It hasn't been easy. I mean, look, you've had to overcome emotional insecurities with the 4 of Cups in the reverse here. You've had to overcome fear and anxiety with the 8 of Wands. You've had to let the emotional ego have its death. In other words, here with the House of God, this is the power and the wisdom of Source Spirit coming in and knocking the crown off your head, and in turn both your spirit and your ego fall out. But the thing is that the ego doesn't have the stamina or the well-being to get back up and climb up the tower. Instead, he gets cast into the river and floats away, because that's not a part of you anymore, right? And this comes in various things here, you know. This comes from your angels. This comes from situations. This comes from people. This comes from all different things on the journey. But still, you carry on, and your little sack here, your knapsack, it gets smaller and smaller as you move on, because you're letting go of things that aren't serving you anymore. You're just ready to let it. It's like letting sleeping dogs lie, right? And finding a sense of stability. Got stuck to my finger, which is why we're looking at it. But finding a sense of stability in the world with just being who you are. There's no need to change yourself. The only thing that we're here to do is to heal. And healing doesn't even indicate that there's anything wrong with us, except that we've been letting the emotional ego get the best of us for some time. And it's led us into really trying situations, especially when it comes to whatever your path of purpose is, whatever your divine mission is here. Yeah, the first card out, we have the King of Coins. This is talking about how you're meant to be a boss, right? You're meant to be stable in your position. But isn't it interesting? Let's just stop and look at this chair for a second. This king is holding up the chair. It only has 2 legs. This is a part of his cape. This is all part of his cape over here. And he's holding this coin, but he's the one who's stabilizing this chair, which is an indication that you're the stability in your life. It's not actually the money that you make. That's just a bonus, right? Money is a tool. But you're becoming the stability in a situation, knowing that when you can stand on your own and in your spiritual well-being, that you get to basically dictate exactly what you want to happen in your life. You're overcoming negative situations. Oh my gosh, I love you so much, ancestors. Thank you for these confirmations. This is such a profound... Let's check out what these last 2 cards are. Okay, the 3 of Swords in the reverse, talking about taking 3 steps forward and 20 steps back. 1 step forward, 10 steps back. That's exactly what I was feeling. It's just like, when is it ever going to stop? And they're just being clear here. It's like, where this might seem like it to you, in reality, yes. Oh, I love this. Okay, in reality, you're healing. You're healing. You're balancing out the shadow and the light attributes of yourself. This is a perfect blend of the darkness and the light, right? This angel character here, Temperance, you could say this is Michael. You could say it's any one of the archangels. It doesn't matter here, but it's depicting your energy right now, that you're capable of letting this emotion flow fluidly in between the light and the dark aspect of yourself. It's a balancing energy. It's a very balancing type of situation here, even though it's completely uncomfortable. Right, you have the 14 card, which breaks down into 5 in numerology. You have the 5 of Swords here, showing that there's a lot of negativity that's been happening around you. People who've tried to get you to switch up off your path. People who've tried to demoral you, demean you, who have tried to, put up libel. Who knows? There's like all kinds of energies with this 5 of Swords that's coming through. It's like just people who've really tried to get you to see their side of things, when their side of things was actually an illusion. And you've seen that. You recognize that, right? And so here we are healing, and we're healing from this belief, because this is a belief with the 3 of Swords coming out in the reverse. This is a belief here that's saying, like, everything that I do feels like I'm going backwards, right? It feels like you're always in retrograde. But retrograde really represents this slowing down, right? It's slowing down to refocus our attention on the things that matter. And so where you might feel like you're always going backwards, what's really happening is that the divine and source is slowing you down so you can refocus your energy on the spaces in your life and in your emotional ego that need intense healing. And the only way for you to do that is to be present with whatever it is that's being brought up. And we see the struggles here with the dice coming through, and the ancestors are saying here, you've done an amazing job. You're healing. I mean, the cards are really confirming exactly what came out with the dice. You're meant to be successful in the endeavors that you have taken on. You're meant to build financial stability. You're meant to build stability in the world. But stability begins within first. And then when you realize that, you begin to see that, oh my gosh, like I really have overcome all these negative situations. I really have let go of all these negative things. I really have come up and healed and become a very stable person in life. And I don't let these things become, I'm not making mountains out of molehills anymore. It's what I was saying, like that feeling. I get this feeling that there's a point on your journey where you've looked back and it's like all those things that you've overcome. You're like, man, that is nothing compared to what I'm dealing with today. Right? 15:55 on the clock. So that 555 is coming out. It's showing that that's a very uncomfortable place of change, but the change is necessary to move on to the next part of where now we're seeing the fruit of our efforts. We're not yet able to enjoy it, but we're beginning to see that bud. We're beginning to see that growth. We're beginning to see the seed turn into something other than just this green plant that's sprouting out from the ground. Now we're seeing the tomatoes start to form. We're seeing the oranges start to form from the blossoms. We're seeing whatever it is starting to form. And it's going to take time to grow, yes, but it is that uncomfortable place that you overcome and come into a more balanced state. And that's what the ancestors are just wanting to tell you. They just want to tell you, you've done a great job. You've overcome so much. And this is a mindset that you have right now, and they want you to focus on healing this mindset. Instead of seeing it as just obstacles, see this as like, wow, this is meant to help me grow. And the more you look at this as like, man, I'm growing so fast, the more that you see this as not something that needs to be, have your frustration, but have gratitude instead. It doesn't mean you don't get to feel frustrated. Okay, let's not get that twisted. What it means is that when you're in a frustrating situation, instead of blaming the path that you're on, it's saying like, wow, this is really bringing up a lot within me. And sit down and hold frustration's hand. What are you trying to tell me, frustration? Why am I so frustrated? Why am I so upset? Why does this feel so difficult for me? Rather than saying like, it's just a path. It's a path that's bringing me all this upset. It's just some cruel joke. It's just, I don't want to be on this path anymore, but I keep getting called back to this path. And you're not alone in that pile too. Like, we've all been on that journey. We've all experienced this at some point in time. I mean, the ancestors have even pointed out, you're doing something that so few people do. As soon as trouble arises, it's like most people will run at the first sign of trouble. Most people. Then you have those people who stay around for 2 or 3 situations of trouble, and after that, they're like, I'm out. I'm done. Then you might have some people who stick around for, 20 minutes or 20 times of trouble, and they check out. It's just time after time after time after time after time after time after time, and it keeps coming. So we're 1,000 times of trouble in, and I'm still here, and it feels like nothing is balanced out. And they're saying like, hold up. Look back at how far you've come. You're already in boss-up energy. You're already forming this stability within yourself. You're already seen as a respectful leader in your community, in whatever it is that you're putting your energy into. But more importantly, you're finding the balance of your own 2 feet in this world. 1 second. 1 bark. That's all she did. I don't even know. There's not anybody outside, just 1 bark. So we're going to take it as a confirmation. She literally barked and got off the couch and then laid down. Like, okay. Oh, she's such a silly mutt. I love her to death. But this is finding the stability in your own world and knowing that you're the stability of your life. It's not money. It's not your career. It's not your path of purpose. It's not anything. It's like, if you cannot cultivate stability internally, you will never experience external stability, right? And so if you've ever dealt with back pain or thigh pain or hip pain or anything like that, and that's something that you see gradually going away, then that's showing that you're beginning to be stable energetically and emotionally and capable of moving about this realm no matter what comes. If you're still dealing with those pains and those aches, then it's showing that there's a mindset here that's manifesting that is misaligning my spirit with my path of purpose. And sometimes we're walking our path of purpose, but our emotional ego is getting the best of us, which makes us misaligned, right? That's coming out of alignment with what it is that we're supposed to have. Our thoughts are very powerful things. And sometimes we're not even recognizing that we're thinking this way because we're just so tuned in to moving forward, getting there. I'm chasing what I want. I'm doing what I want. I'm going after my dream. But here we see with Temperance and with the 5 of Swords that it's okay to take a step back and reassess where your focus is, and to also look back and celebrate how far you've come on this journey, because your ancestors are trying to help you see just how much you've accomplished in, theoretically, in reality, however you look at it, a very short time. Because some of you have been on this journey for a long time. I mean, decades, okay? And I get that, and I appreciate that, and I respect that. And then there are others who have only been on this journey for a very short time, like 1 year or maybe, 2 years or whatever. And then there's a whole array of you somewhere in between. Okay, so remember, we're all at different points on our journey, but we're not alone. we're never alone. Like, there are people who've been here for a long time and still have problems with this energy and this feeling and this toxic. This is a toxic belief, right? That's what this is showing here with the Three of Swords in the reverse. This is a toxic belief that's coming through that we're trying to help you balance out, okay? To have a pip card clarified by a mystery card, that's incredibly profound. And not just any mystery card, but temperance, healing, massive balance, massive harmony, massive centering of yourself in all that is. 2002 on the clock. Or 2202, my apologies. So 222, 555, these are very powerful numbers. You have this change, this uncomfortable place of change, and trusting the process as you go, right? Trust what's happening. Trust that it is for your greater good. So we're trying to help you see that you are balancing out this energy, but we need you to just slow down for a minute and take a step back and look at your past achievements and honor that part of yourself so that you can see that you really have come so far, that you're really not in this energy anymore feeling emotionally unbalanced or feeling anxious or fearful about the journey, that you really have overcome so many things, and your emotional ego is not who it used to be anymore. Your spirit is a lot stronger now, and that you are this free energy that is really truly just going on the journey, right? The obstacles are the path. So let's get some oracles out for you, pile number 2, and see what comes through. Yeah. Passion, play, children, confidence, and creativity. It's time for you to bring lightheartedness. This is kind of a similar message from pile number 1, and some of you could be here from pile number 1 too, and I truly appreciate you. So thank you. If you were called to pile number 1 as well, then there might be some messages for you. It's never an obligation to watch, but if you feel called, you can absolutely check that out. And we see this just lightheartedness, right? Not being so serious about the journey as it is, rather seeing it as getting you to where you want to go. And sometimes it's going to take a while, and sometimes it's not going to take that long. But if we hold on to the time frame, right, we're telling Source that we don't trust that Source has a greater plan for us, or the universe, or the divine God, whatever it is that you believe in. Okay, we're basically saying, no, you don't know what's best for me. I know what's best for me, and I have to have it tomorrow. If I don't have it by tomorrow, I'm going to throw some big fit, because we've all been there too. I know I have, right? I'm going to throw some big fit and say that you don't trust me, or you don't believe that I'm good enough, so why should I? But that's the emotional ego. The emotional ego is very creative. So we have to get consciously creative here to combat the emotional ego. And that is a message from your ancestors. And then we have house 2, physical security, possessions, material values, and ding, 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 self-worth. How do you view yourself? You're meant to have stability financially in this realm, in this lifetime. That is something that is going to come for you, pile 2. We see here with house 2 and Taurus energy, this is directly related to how you feel about yourself. We see a toxic pattern coming up with the 3 of Swords in the reverse, right? Taking 1 step forward, 10 steps back. That's a thought process. You're not actually taking any time back. Like, there's no steps going back. It's just every time an obstacle comes, when you view it that way, you are actually putting yourself in an energy of lack. And so if you see it as like, wow, here's another obstacle, here's another trigger, here's another situation that I get to overcome. Do you see how that changes it? Or something that I've been learning recently, and it's been very powerful, is saying, what do I bring to this situation? So when you see an obstacle, instead of saying, oh, here's another obstacle, say, what do I bring to this obstacle? I bring strength, I bring clarity, I bring truth, I bring courage, looking at what you bring, because you're the one that's showing up and facing the obstacle. The obstacle has no comparison to you, because you're an incredible being and you're here to make such a change. So why are you going to let this obstacle defeat you, in other words, when in reality this whole time you've been the one that's been defeating the obstacles? But the mindset is that when all these obstacles arise, and also when you change the mindset around the obstacles on your journey, They're showing me that they're going to lessen, because there's going to be things that come up that might have seemed really, really large for you. Again, that idea of what you've gone through is nothing compared to what you're going through now. But when you shift this mindset, they're showing me that in the future, all of those obstacles are going to turn back into the molehills that they are, and you're going to stop seeing them as mountains. Rather, you're going to see them as opportunities for growth. And so this is something that's well within your reaches and well within your ability to do so right now. We have House 10 coming out on the bottom: structure, discipline, life mission, accomplishments, and career. So this is a part of your life mission here, okay? This is something that's been really difficult for you, and I understand that, but it is going to get easier as we go. So I'm going to use some of these life and career oracles. And we had unfolding fell out. Access to greater prosperity is opening up for you slowly. You are growing as you learn more. Keep expanding. Yeah, so the more you learn, the more you grow. Let's see. Can we please have some more information here, ancestors? Okay, wow. Okay. Oh my gosh, this card just like flipped out and went down to the floor, but here we go. We have guidance. Divine forces are showing you the way to go. You are discovering another piece of your destiny in your life purpose. This is literally like the ancestors saying, this is our message for you. This is our guidance for you. Okay, that's the only card in this deck, and this is a huge deck. There's like 90 cards in here. It's huge, okay? It's a massive deck, and that's what they're saying. Look, we have signs. I split the deck, and we go right to signs. You are putting together pieces of the puzzle from signs you are getting. Pay attention to the coincidences you experience. So I'm just going to put this one out, and I cannot with you, ancestors, because underneath that, we have wealth. You're working towards real wealth and prosperity in your life. Keep investing in yourself and look into long-term career planning. And then on the bottom, we have long-term. An opportunity could turn into a long-term career move, or you will be asked to commit to a position in exchange for more money. Okay, so I'm just going to put these out because this is massive. Okay, this is a massive, and then it's interesting because, and I'm not going to put these out, but I am going to show you the next two from the bottom and from the split. Okay, we'll put those there. We have ending. You may leave a position or be terminated. However, there's always a new opportunity ahead. You may change careers entirely. And I feel like this is an ending to a thought process, because over here we have trapped. You feel stuck in your current situation, but you do have options. Look for another job while keeping the one you have now. But I feel like this is a trapped mindset, okay, that's ending. This is going to come to an end is what they're saying here. That is so profound. Just one right after the other here. Okay, so let's get one of these. Okay, thank you. On the bottom, look, we have kindness. Fruit, bat, and flying fox. This is to be kind to yourself, okay? Look, in number 12, which connects to the hangman energy, and we have the bat hanging upside down here, which is showing it's time for you to focus on changing your perspective, because we are trying to bring reciprocity into your life here, that equal give and take, but it has to come from this mindset with the crown on his head, okay? So this is what they're trying to bring to you. And sometimes it's difficult, you know, don't beat yourself up, pile 2. That's not what they want. They definitely don't want you to do that. They're just trying to bring it into your awareness. Like, we have focus coming out with crystals. And this is an energy that's been coming in since the beginning when I said it felt like retrograde. But retrograde is a time to refocus. I cannot say how many times I said that, but I know it's come out. And then these little light balls here always make me feel like this is the ancestors. Like, we're going to light up your path. Okay, so they're definitely coming through really strong right now. This is incredible. And then we have emergence on the bottom with dragonfly. Yeah, so you're emerging into a greater part of yourself. Let's get one of these. What else would you like to say, ancestors? Father of fire, passion ignited. Number 26. So it's been really hard for you to let go of the karmic cycles, and that's the emotional ego coming out. And it's showing it's like it's burned you a lot, right? It's definitely burned you here. It's created a lot of upset in your life. It's made you feel this trapped. You can't move beyond this. But the interesting thing about this card is showing that you're the one who ignites that. You're the one who controls how that comes to you and how that comes from you, right? And you can use that as fuel to ignite your passions rather than focusing on the negative. Can we focus rather on the positives within you? And this is also tied to the King of Wands, showing confidence, courage, bravery, and extending that towards your journey now, okay? So we do have on the bottom the Conjure Woman with manifestation, number 1. Okay, this also ties into the Magician energy, right? And so you have this power to manifest exactly what you want. You have all the tools you need right now for your manifestations to come into reality. Okay, we see it is a mindset they're trying to help you observe, right? Because we don't just overcome mindsets in one day. That's not ever how that works. But when we begin to observe our mindsets, then we begin to heal from them, and when we can heal from them, we begin to grow. So we have the Great Teacher, learn from spiritual experiences. So again, with the signs and guidance and unfolding, I feel like those go hand in hand for you here. This is absolutely profound. We have leadership coming out here for you. And number 10, this is the completion of a cycle for you, pile number 2. And on the bottom, we have Heart Guardian, love and let yourself be loved. Yeah, so some of you may have come from pile number 1, and I really do appreciate that. 3303 on the clock. But this is just showing you, like, open up your heart chakra here. Let yourself be loved. Things don't have to be so difficult all the time. Rather, when you see them with a positive mindset, then you allow yourself to experience the true growth in the situation. So let's get some archetypes out and see what comes through for you here. Okay, ancestors, what else would you like to tell pile number 2? Okay, all right, cool. We'll take it. On the bottom, we have Scribe. Light attribute is preserving knowledge and information. Shadow attribute is altering facts or plagiarizing others' works. Okay, so we're trying to help you come up into this place of preserving your knowledge, your wisdom, and information so that you can pass that on. Okay, I don't feel like you've been plagiarizing anything or anything like that, but that is something to look out for on the journey, right? And we have to remember that all light and dark attributes exist within us all. Angel, no. Hold on just a second. Okay, so we've got Child Orphan. Light attributes are independence based on learning to go it alone, conquering fear of surviving, and we saw that coming out with these cards over here. Shadow attributes are feelings of abandonment that stifle maturation, seeking inappropriate surrogate families. So you've definitely learned how to go this alone, but I feel like also if you've had this feelings of abandonment, that would absolutely explain why you're not feeling worthy of what it is that you're trying to manifest. And so there's been trying to fill this void, and they're saying that you get to fill that void by loving yourself, right? When you love yourself, you get to fill that whole void. Child nature, wow. Friendships with animals, communication with nature, spirits, and shadows, tendency to abuse animals, people, and the environment. So you may work with animals, you may have this connection with animals, with birds especially. You might have birds at home and they help you feel reconnected to yourself, or you grew up with animals in the house, like you could have had a lot of animals at home. And then we have mentor, passing on wisdom, refining a student's character, and your shadow attributes here are inability to allow the student to move on to the role of master, imparting false instruction. And so I feel like that's a thing, like maybe you're facing from childhood wounding, is the fact that someone was maybe an overbearing mother, or an overprotective mother, an overprotective father, like one who was not allowed to, like, did not allow you to spread your wings and fly the coop, or made you feel guilty for trying to become your own person. That is a shadow attribute that's coming through here. That is making a play, but that is a very specific message for someone. But here we have this energy of allowing yourself to refocus your energy on seeing anything that comes up as a trigger or as what you might see as an obstacle as that learning energy. And when you see things that way, you begin to really embody the light attributes here that are being seen, learning from spiritual experience, igniting your passion, letting things unfold, stepping up into this wealth, loving and letting yourself be loved. Okay, so let's take a look at your ancestor card and see what the message is here. Clear your mind. Be present, focus, and embrace. Isn't that so powerful? Because I was saying this is a mindset, and we have clear your mind, and they're all different. I don't know if this is a macaw or a parrot up here, but in one of the decks that I have for the parrot spirit, it says watch your words. And our words and our mind are all together, right? Communication and our thoughts are one in one. So let's see here. Clear your mind. Let me bring that up. Okay, so your card says, the pariah are an isolated tribe of hunter-gatherers who lived in the Amazon rainforest in Brazil for thousands of years. The pariah mastered the art of survival in the jungle. They are intimate with the local plants and know how to use them for medicinal purposes. The pariah also understand animal behavior with child nature. Are you serious, ancestors? I love you so much. Thank you. They know how to hunt or to avoid animals to survive. They use no weapons or tools and live off the animals, nuts, and fruits they hunt or gather in the jungle. They live in simple huts and make palm leaf bags, bows, and arrows. And didn't I say with the Fool card, like, your bag is becoming less and less, like you're carrying less and less with you? And that's another confirmation here. It says the pariah rarely sleep through the night. They usually sleep a maximum of 2 hours at a time and take 15-minute naps during the day. The pariah believe in living in the here and now. Their awareness centers on the experience of the moment. They keep no historical records. They do not dwell on what happened in the past, nor are they worried about the future. They focus on the present and believe in what they can physically see with their own eyes. To the pariah, something is only real, or is real only if they or someone they know witnessed it. This card reminds you to slow down and take stock of what is important to you right now. You may have lost your connection to who and what matters most. If there is too much confusion around you, you may lose focus. I cannot with this right now. Try not to get distracted from your values. Be clear about who you are and your immediate needs. Avoid putting your happiness and well-being off for another day. When you are focused, your energy has direction and purpose. Engaging in the moment helps you to avoid distraction so you can give your attention to the task or people at hand. Be clear about what is important to you. Being clear about what is important to you encourages the universe to flow with your intentions and goals. Appreciate the pariah's philosophy of living in the here and now. Don't keep looking to the past. Don't try to worry about the future. Enjoy what you're experiencing in the present. This is a profound message because it absolutely clarifies everything that I was feeling in this reading. Absolutely profound, right? Being in the here and now, right? The obstacles are the path. Not worrying about when they're going to stop, but just appreciating them for when they come, because when they come, they're teaching you valuable things. They're teaching you how to be in this moment. They're teaching you how to grow. They're teaching you how to open your heart to learn from this spiritual experience. You ignited this fire, and now living through it may have been a difficult thing for you, but this is a part of your path of destiny. And as you do that, you're going to see yourself blossom even more into this great leader that you're meant to be. Okay, so this is what I see for you here, pile number 2. If you felt like this was your reading, leave your favorite animal emoji down below and say, I understand that the obstacles are the path. And the more I live here and now, the more I free myself. Okay, and if this resonated with you, it would mean so much to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe down below. If you are interested in supporting the channel further, you'll find all those links below in the description box in order to do so. You can email me for a personal reading. You can follow me on over to my podcast at Scatter Love Radio, which is on Spotify. You can even join as a member, and I would love to see you on memberships, but if not, thank you for your continued support here. I want to send a shout out to the ancestors, and I want to say thank you to your guides, your spirit messengers, your angel source, and my spirit guides for coming together to give us this incredible message. And until next time, pile number 2, stay human. Bye. Hello, my fellow human. If you were drawn to this beautiful yellow citrine, or if you were drawn to this card during the shuffle, this is going to be a reading on your ancestor message. I do want to say thank you to anyone and everyone that continues to be a supportive part of this journey, this channel, this ever-growing tribe. I'm truly honored to be sharing this time and this space with you. And for those of you new here, welcome. This is that reminder that we're all here sharing this human experience, and that this is a safe space to show up as your highest, most aligned, loving, authentic self. Should these messages happen to resonate with you, it means so much to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe down below. And with that being said, let's go ahead and hop to it and find out, what are your ancestors' messages today? So ancestors of highest light and love, what messages do you have for my fellow humans today for pile number 3? Ancestors of highest light and love, what messages do you have today for pile number 3? What would you like them to know? Ancestors of highest light and love, what messages do you have for pile number 3? Okay, so we've got the 10th house, we've got Aquarius energy, and the sun. You know, the first thing I heard when this flew out was that you're going to come up into a leadership position that is very unusual. Like, you're not even seeing this. Okay? You're going to be seen as someone that leads the masses and the multitude. And it could be over the internet. It could be being a public speaker. It could be something like that. It could just be that you are offering a product and there's going to be a lot of people who want it, or who really have need for it. But it's going to be something that you're not expecting. It's going to be very unorthodox. It's going to be a very unusual opportunity that presents itself. But it has everything to do with just who you are, being completely authentic with yourself. And the ancestors are showing you, like, this is an opportunity that is for you. 222 on the clock. They want you to trust this process. They want you to trust that you are learning how to be the best version of yourself, to fit into this position that is being made just for you. There is no other person that can offer what it is that you offer. And I feel like with this, they're also saying to really celebrate that with yourself. Really be like, you know what? That's right. I am a one of a kind, and I do deserve to have this position because I'm one of a kind. They made it especially for me. Like, there's no reason for anyone else to have this position because no one else is going to fulfill it the way that I'm going to. And that might sound arrogant to a lot of people, but it's not. It's not. And so your ancestors want you to begin to see just how unique and amazing you are, and to celebrate that about yourself, not to feel like you have to be exiled or ostracized or ridiculed, but that you have something really amazing to offer, and it's time for you to really see that about yourself. I feel like at some point for you, it's been a burden for you being different. And this is a challenge for you because maybe you were singled out, or maybe you were made fun of, or maybe people, you know, made you feel bad for being who you are. And they're saying that this is like one of the main blocks to you stepping up into this opportunity, but the opportunity will be there for you for however long this takes, because it wasn't created for anyone else. This is something that you manifested. This is something that you've dreamt of, but it's not going to be the way that you imagined it was. It's going to be a lot different. But equally still, it's going to be perfect. It's going to be exactly what you wanted, not knowing that that was what you wanted. With Aquarius here, it can come through a friend group, but we're talking about a lot of praise and recognition here. Okay, so this could be a promotion. This could be the job that you've been wanting. This could be the business finally taking off. This could be the hobby that you have finally getting recognized for exactly what it is, and the passion behind that being seen as something wondrous that people want to buy into or want to be a part of. They're just saying that in this leadership, we really, really want you to start celebrating that you deserve this because it wasn't created for anyone else. I am getting like an art piece. Maybe you do art. Okay, this is a very specific message, so it could just be used as an example, but also this might be for someone directly. And it's like I'm seeing like an art piece, like you've worked on this for so long. It's like all I want is for people to appreciate my art. And what ends up happening is something like a studio calls you and they're like, wow, we saw your art piece online and there's nothing like that, and we would like to do a show for you. And it does feel like there's a huge step up and maybe a lot of pressure that comes with this, but they're showing me that you're going to handle it. And so the same could be said if you're not an artist. That's all right. It's just that whatever it is that you've done, that's exactly the type of energy that's going to come in. And it's like the opportunity is huge. Excuse me. A sneeze of confirmation. You know that this is true. It's coming. It's just something that's coming, and you just trusting the process is going to help this manifest faster, but also relinquishing this idea that you don't deserve to be seen is going to help you step into this a whole lot quicker. And sometimes that's hard, especially when maybe we felt like the black sheep in the family, or when people made fun of us, or people made us feel bad for being who we are. You know, sometimes that can be really difficult to step up into this place of celebrating ourselves, but the ancestors are coming through saying they really, really want you to start celebrating how unique you are and how you do things differently than everyone else. And that's a beautiful thing. If we wanted to make you the same as everyone else, we would have made you the same as everyone else. That came in so loud. Is that like someone's mom or grandpa or something like that? No, it definitely feels like a mom. That feels like a mom coming in, or like a very motherly energy. So it could be a grandma too, or an auntie. Someone who's very like, very loud and boisterous. Okay, ancestors, what messages do you have for pile number 3? What else would you like them to know? What messages do you have for pile number 3? Okay, thank you. What else would you like them to know at this time? I feel like someone really broke your heart when you were growing up. Like, it could have been a friend. It could have been a romantic connection, but I really feel like it was a friend who broke your heart, who said they accepted you for who you were, only to find out that, like, they only were with you because they could get something from you. And it just really broke your heart, and that's some reason why it's hard for you to celebrate yourself. It's like, how can I celebrate myself when it seems like that's what happens is people always leave or people aren't there. Yeah, and I'm always starting over with the 9 of Wands coming out in the reverse here. It's this feeling of always having to start over. How can I celebrate myself? It feels like I'm the one that's at fault. And your ancestors are saying, absolutely not. You are not the one that's at fault here. You shine so bright. And a lot of people can't handle that, right? Your light shines on their inner demons, and that scares them. And a lot of time people will project that fear onto you and make you feel bad because they don't want to feel alone in how bad they feel. And it's not right, it's not wrong, it's just something that is. And I wish I could stand here and say, oh, it is wrong, they should never do that. I will say this, pile 3, you didn't deserve it, okay? But to say it's wrong would say that that's something that the universe would have to take away from our world, when we already know we live in a dualistic natured world, saying that without good there cannot be evil, without evil good would cease to exist. So it just simply is. And when we look at things that way, we begin to see things from a different perspective and saying like, okay, if that's just the way that it is, then that means that I have control over myself and the way that I show up. It means that I don't have to put up with that and I can move on. But here we see it's like owning your individuality for the purpose of stepping up into this unique opportunity. And sometimes, pile 3, the best revenge is success. And it's not coming from like, I'm going to be successful to show you all. It's just saying, you know what? I'm tired of holding on to the past. I'm tired of holding on to that hurt. I'm tired of holding on to that hurt, that resentment, that pain, that sorrow. I'm tired of holding on to that. Can I use that energy and channel it into something that's more positive for myself, like my art, my writing, my career, my degree? Can I channel that into that and really put forth my best foot, knowing that it's going to take me somewhere where these people will never meet me there? They just won't. They won't be a part of my life ever again. 10:10 on the clock. Yeah. And sometimes that's hard because we want to be in this place of just being angry at people. Well, they should know better. They should take accountability for their actions. They should recognize that what they're doing is wrong. But we don't live in a one-sided world. We don't. And if you take man out of it, right, humans, if you take humans out of it, let me retract that. Let me say this. If you take humans out of it, it still happens in nature. Maybe not to the extent that it does in humans where we have this conversation, this ability to talk to one another. But a lot of the things and the trials that we go through also happen in nature. It's a lot of trials that nature has to go through in order to get to where they are. Do you really think the tree wanted to plant its seed just to be torn out from the ground 50 years later by a hurricane? No, but that's something that happens, right? And so we have to look at ourselves in the cycle of nature and recognize that that's something that we go through. But that tree, it's still never trying to be something else. It's still going to be whatever it was when it was planted, because that's all it can be. So you got 2 cards. We're going to use this as a confirmation for that. And a clarifying card on the bottom. We have the Page of Wands. Okay, so this is a new energy for you. This feels very different and fresh and even kind of scary. And like, oh my gosh, like, I don't know if I could walk on that path. I don't know, because he's a very unsure character. The way he's holding his wand, like, he wouldn't be able to pick this up if he needed to fight, because his hands are not in a good position to pick this wand up. It's just in a terrible position. He's just kind of like balancing on it. He's not even using it as a walking stick. It's basically like blocking his way from moving forward because he's so uncertain of the future. But it doesn't mean that it's not full of passion. It doesn't mean that it's not full of excitement. It just means that I'm just not certain. I'm not sure if I can move through this. And also, out of all the court cards, he's the only one that actually has his feet all the way down here on the name, out of all of them, right? And so this is something that's very close to home. That's the message here. But see, you have this ability to stand up into this Queen of Coins energy and just being completely stable and grounded in who you are and saying, you know what? This person treated me like this, and I may never get an apology from them, but you know what? That's fine, because I'm not going to let that person hold me back. We can't really hold people accountable for their actions when it's in the past, because there's no going back right now and saying, you know what, when I was 13 years old, you treated me like a POS, and I think that you should get down on your knees and beg for my forgiveness because I deserve that. You know, that person is going to tell you to go F yourself or something like that. I mean, it's just going to get really out of hand. Right? They're going to be like, I don't even remember that. That was years ago. Right? And they're going to wash their hands of it, and that's going to make you feel even worse. But that's why we hold on to the past, because we really think that we're holding one over on a person, like we're doing that to them energetically. In reality, that person is living in your mind rent-free, keeping you chained to a past self that you have an ability to free yourself from with just letting it go and forgiving it. It doesn't mean letting or invalidating what you went through. It means sitting down with the emotions that come up from that past. And this has been a message that's been consistent with all 3 piles, is sitting with that emotion, like that anger, and saying, you know what? What's up, anger? How's it going today? And anger would be like, it's terrible. It's awful. I feel you. I feel you. I'm here for you, though. You know, let's get through this together. You're not alone. And it's okay that you feel the way that you feel. But I'm here and I want to listen to what it is that you have to say, because if we get this out, we'll feel a lot better. And then just hear whatever that anger has to bring to the surface, even if it feels scary, or even if it's like, I would never say this to a person. If you can't say it to yourself, how will you ever be able to defend yourself in a situation in the future? You know, and in an emotionally mature way, how could you ever defend yourself instead of just letting anger take over and say things that you might regret later, right? This is a very deep reading already, and we're barely into it. Like, this is so crazy. But see, yeah, okay, so this could be a family member. Yeah, with the Ace of Swords in the reverse. They've caused a lot of anxiety in your life. Okay, this is someone who could have been a mother, could have been a sibling, it could have been a father, it could have been an auntie and uncle, could have been the person that channeled through in the beginning even. Just like this energy of saying that, you know, when you're in this Ace of Swords in the reverse, you're not seeing clearly how you should move forward, right? You're just letting that situation get the best of you when you have this opportunity to be unsure in your emotions moving forward, sure. But in doing so, you're going to step right into this Queen of Pentacles energy rather than feeling stuck in a situation when you have so much to offer. Right? You have so much to offer here and you're stuck in a situation. It could have been a father. It could be a father. Just depending on your situation and where you're at. It's going to be different for everyone. It could be a Leo. Oh, this changed. We have the sun, right? Yeah. I didn't mean to flip that over. Yeah, it could be a father. Could be an Aries, Leo, Sag, a Capricorn, a Pisces, a Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra. It could be a Sag, Scorpio. Yeah, this is someone who's been really involved in your energy, like wants to know what you're doing, spies on you constantly, is always up in your business. Yeah, and they want, look at this, we have 9 and 9 together here. I just want my happiness. That's what I heard when this came out. It's like, I just want my happiness. I want my freedom. And they're saying here that you're not starting over. Like when all these bad things happen to you, or when something triggers you from the past and making you feel like you're not worthy of the gifts that you have, or the talents and the abilities that you have, and the skills even, it's saying, hey, hold on. Are the people who are making you feel bad, do they have those gifts? Do they really have a leg to stand on in the way that they're making you feel? And when you draw yourself out of the emotional experience and come back into the mind in those moments, you begin to see like, well, I'm a psychic medium, but I'm getting told off by someone who doesn't even believe in the spiritual realm. Like, how does that make sense, right? Like, that doesn't make any sense. That person, they're just trying to make you feel guilty. And if it's working, you're saying that this person has validity in what they're saying. But in reality, it's playing on a part that you believe in yourself. You may have the imposter syndrome that you're fighting. You may have the fraud syndrome that you're fighting. Like, and what is that within you? Like, why does that exist? Where does that come from? Why do I feel like a fraud when I've been proven time and time again that I'm a psychic medium? I've had tons of people tell me like, yeah, these messages are real. Or I've been proven time and time again by source that source is a real thing. You know, whatever it is that's bothering you, or even with your art, you know, like if that's the thing, it's like, I've been told by so many people I'm such an amazing artist, but then I have this one person who's like always telling me it's not good enough. And it's always the person who is so far away from what it is that we're doing. Like they have no say in it. They don't even know what it takes to do what you do. They don't even know what it takes to put in the effort that you put in. But somehow we're like, oh, for whatever reason, our emotional ego is so attached to the opinion of this person. We're like, but this person doesn't do anything that I do. They don't do the things I do on a day-to-day basis, right? They don't show up and they don't do the brush strokes on the canvas. They don't show up and do the pencil strokes and the coloring that I do. They don't show up and create the music and continuing to practice this song over and over. Right? They don't show up and talk to source every day and sit in prayer. They don't believe in that. So why take their opinion to heart when in reality it means nothing? Do you think that a rich person would take advice from a poor person? And that's what we are doing energetically when this happens. And this is what the ancestors are pointing out. This is a very intense message, by the way. So Yeah, look, we have the Tower or the House of God in the reverse, clarified, wow, by the Page of Coins in the reverse. Okay, so let's look at this for a minute. Anytime that the House of God comes out in the reverse, it's talking about this inability that we have within to face reality. And I feel like that's exactly why I was talking about what I was talking about. Taking the opinion of someone who has no say, who really, it's just silly, right? Even though it feels so real. I'm not trying to invalidate what it is that you're feeling, because it's absolutely real what you're feeling, okay? It is. And it's difficult. It's hard. I've been there too. Okay, you're not alone in this, and there's so much. But sometimes we have to stop and think about, like, hold on. Why is this person getting to me so much? Like, what is that bringing up? And you see here, your ancestors are pointing out, you're not starting over. Okay, this could have been a friend from the past. This could have been someone who's in your family, a sibling, but they had nothing to offer you with the Page of Coins in the reverse. This is someone who has nothing. They don't have a leg to stand on. Like, I can't get beyond that, because that's exactly what it feels like. This person is coming over here like, oh, I can live your life better than you can live it. And then the question becomes, then why don't you? Why don't you? Okay, if you can live it better than I can live it, then why aren't you living that? This is frustrating. This is something that's very frustrating from you. I feel this frustration in my soul. Like, I feel it in my core right now. How frustrating this is. It's like, you just want to be seen by this person. You want this person to acknowledge that your gifts are a real thing, but they won't. They, like, acknowledge. Have you ever been partially acknowledged? You know, where it's like, yeah, you're really smart. And you're like, and that's it. They just leave it there. You're like, oh, so I'm not talented. I'm just really smart, right? Like, when everyone else is like, wow, you're so intelligent, you're so talented, you're so amazing. And it's like this one person, they always leave it like an unfinished sentence, right? Oh, you're so this. And then you're always waiting for the and it never comes. That's because this person does that intentionally. They don't want you to see your potential. And some people are just like that. But if we continually put our frustrations into these people who don't see our potential, we're refusing to acknowledge our own reality, which is, you can let this go and come into a space of honoring just how powerful you are in this moment. Talented, skilled, you have abilities that other people don't have. You know, you're unique. We have that with the Aquarius energy out here, showing how very unique you are, right? But here it's like, every time this person comes in and, you know, swings around their words and their reality, right, with the Page of Coins, this is their reality. They're making you feel bad because of their reality. Our thoughts are our reality. Where we put our focus at becomes our reality. Perspective is everything to each individual person. 22:22 on the clock. And for as many people who live, there are that many different perspectives in the world. So if this person gets to live life from their perspective, why can't you live life from your perspective? This is a real thing. Source is a real thing. Like, spirit world is a real thing. The signs and the synchronicities I'm getting, they're a real thing. And it doesn't matter how many times you show this person is always going to use that moment to swipe you at the knees. And it's not because they're not seeing what you're showing to them. It's because they don't want to see you shine your light. Because if you shine your light, pile 3, that means you're going to leave them in the dust. And they don't want to be left in the dust because you've been an emotional punching bag for them for a long time. And so your ancestors are coming out here saying, don't let this person or these people make you feel like you're starting over. Rather, remember that you're learning valuable information based on these experiences, and you're starting from an experienced place. Okay? You're starting from understanding that I know how this feels. I know how I don't want to feel. I know this type of behavior. I know I don't have to invite this into my life. And it is frustrating to have to seemingly start over again. But when you're starting from a place of experience, you are able to move on. And when you move on, even though it's going to feel unusual and uncertain and unstable and my legs are a little bit shaky, like, you go right from a Page of Wands into a Queen of coins. You skip over the knights, you skip over a ton of suits here. You just go straight from being completely unsure on this new path to being completely secure. And it's away from family. You're turning your back, setting your boundaries on these people who have done this, people who you consider to be family. They're no longer in this energy of saying like, oh, I have a right to make you feel a certain way. Definitely a lot of Pisces energy is being like shown to me right now. We have a lot in the energy here. Sagittarius, Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo, Aries, Leo, Sag, yeah. But a lot of Pisces energy here. So you could be a Pisces, have Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. You have Pisces in the 8th house, Pisces in the 9th house, and Pisces in the 7th house as well. Those are very specific placements, but take it as it resonates. So let's get some more messages out here. Ancestors, what else would you like to tell? Wow. Pile number 3. Like, you're getting assistance. I can't. So I'm going to try and pick up the deck how it looks right now. Okay. So I took this off the bottom, and this is what happened. And this is Pisces energy right here in house 1. So you could have Pisces rising. Okay. So we do have Pisces, and Pisces in its shadow is very guilt-ridden, shame-ridden, very much the antagonist at some points, like the negative Nelly, the negative Nancy, kind of like Capricorn energy as well, but more focused on the emotional part, not the physical part, okay? But we do have the house 1 underneath that. I had to show you that. That was incredible. But we have trine with angelic support, harmony, and perfect flow. So you are getting assistance with this on the bottom of the deck. We have Mars, move forward and defend self. Exactly. Move beyond this. You don't have to take this energy. You don't have to live in this space where people are making you feel guilty or bad about who you are. You have a right to shine. Pile 3. You have a right, and you deserve to be seen as who you are, not as who you are through someone else's opinion or perspective, okay? And then we have house 3. Look, early learning, childhood relations, the rational mind, and communication. This person is really angry that I'm telling you this. The ancestors are very clear. They want this message to come through. Oh, I needed a drink. This is someone you've known for a huge portion of your life. Okay? It could be a group of people. It could be young people. Could be you knew these people when you were young. Take it as it resonates. But your ancestors are trying to drive you straight into a place of happiness. You're doing exactly what you're meant to be doing for your path of purpose. It's time for you to be seen as the leader you are. But you have to honor that unique ability that you have. You have to validate yourself. Don't sit around and wait for someone else to validate you, because I'm going to tell you, you're going to be sitting for a long time, pile 3. And then even when somebody validates you, the next time someone who's negative comes along, that is the only thing that is going to take up all of your energy if you're not validating yourself. We have another 9 coming out. Take time out. This is about healing your heart space here, okay? This has been a collective message. If you've watched all 3 piles, I appreciate you so much. Leave a purple heart down below and just say I made it, okay? That will always be designated for you, the Purple Heart Club. You could even just say I'm the Purple Heart Club. I appreciate you, but we see that here. This is about closing this cycle out, okay? Bringing it to an end. This doesn't deserve any space in your life anymore, because you're on to bigger and better things. You're on to great experiences moving forward. And you have this beautiful, what is it? It's like you have the heart of a lion, but the demeanor of a little lamb. And they want you to be the heart of a lion and the ferociousness of that lion when necessary, knowing that that's okay. It's okay for you to stand up for yourself, but it's also okay just to walk away. I don't have to put up with this, right? On the bottom, look, Pisces energy once again with the koi fish spirit. There is always enough. Right? Don't ever question that if there's enough for you or if there's going to be, anything left over for you, because there absolutely is. So this could be a Pisces who's doing this to you. You could have Pisces highly aspect in your chart. Okay? On the bottom, we have the root of air. This is the Page of Swords. Explore. With number 33, your ancestors are with you, helping you find your connection to the ground to express yourself freely here. Okay? to let go of what once was. And these are oracle cards, okay? These are oracle cards. And then we have the unknown, the enigma with number 44. Yeah, so you're an enigma to a lot of people. And I feel like that's why whoever this energy is, they want to bring you down. They want to break you down because they don't understand who you are. You're feeding into source energy here. You're bringing that into the world around you. And it is affecting people in a beautiful way. But they just don't want you to trust yourself, because if you trust yourself, then you're knowingly going to see who they are. And I feel like you already see who they are, but sometimes, pile 3, it's hard, especially when those people have a certain role in our lives. It's hard to let go, and don't beat yourself up for that, okay? Like, there's no reason to beat yourself up for not being able to just freely walk away from this person when you've loved them your whole life, or you've cared about them, or you really have held high regard for them. It's like coming into this space saying like, wow, this person really doesn't feel about me the way that I feel about them. And that is so scary. And it's so disheartening. And it's so frustrating. And I completely understand that it would be difficult for you to say sayonara to someone, but that's what your ancestors are trying to assist you with. This is a message I feel like they've been trying to build and bring you back to time and time again. And I do feel like this is confirming your intuition quite a bit. And you're just like, you know, sometimes it's just hard for us to grasp onto that. It's like, but I love so deeply. And with that, right, with the heart chakra coming out, when especially with the brown bear spirit here, it's like, I feel like your ancestors are saying you have such a beautiful gift to love from this unending well of emotions and unconditional love. But sometimes you love the wrong people because there's a belief somewhere inside of you that's saying, if I just love this person enough, they're going to change. And your ancestors are trying to show you that not everybody is going to change. You will change the world. You will change a massive group of people. You will affect quite a few people in this realm. But sometimes there are other people who have their own journey without you on it. Okay? And right now, your main goal is to focus on your own journey and what that's bringing you, and let go of the past here. And again, knowing that we're in this dualistic realm, and it's so hard to see how could someone treat me like this when I love so deeply. And that's where the resentment comes from, right? Because you give 100% of yourself to a situation only to receive, if you're lucky, breadcrumbs. Right? And it's like, but I love so deeply. How could someone treat me this way? And your ancestors are just trying to, that's just how some people are. Good or bad, it doesn't matter. It just simply is. Right? When we put it in the realm of good or bad, we want to validate we want people to validate us. Like, that's why I said here, I can't say it's good or bad. I can't be that person. Because me validating how you feel about them or about the situation is doing a disservice to you from validating yourself and saying, well, that was wrong for me, or that was right for me. So all I can say is it was. I can appreciate how hard it was. But I've been in that same situation, pile 3, where I wanted everyone else to say that this person was wrong. And even when people said they were wrong, and even when people said they were horrible, I just wanted more of that. And it was never enough. When it became enough was when I said, wow, like, that is something I do not want in my life. That is absolutely wrong for the journey that I'm on. But now I can take stock of that and I can move on. And when I finally came to that realization, I found peace in my heart with the situation. Okay, so you have to find the strength to find this peace for yourself and what's right or wrong for you, not what everyone else tells you. That's you giving your power away to people who don't know your journey the way you know it. Okay, and I know that's difficult because we all want to be validated. We have to validate ourselves. 33:33 on the clock. Which be the light. Yes, and you have this beautiful wisdom coming in here. Right? You're getting connection. This is also talking about being connected with the ancestors as well in the spirit realm. So you're absolutely getting signs and synchronicities on your journey. And a lot of wisdom is coming to you at this time. And they want to remind you that what you're seeing is real. It's a real experience. What you're going through is a real experience. Okay? Man, Hermit coming out here, and Femme Fatale. We've got Hermit with seeks solitude to focus intently on inner life, serves personal creativity. We have Shadow attributes with withdrawals from society out of fear and negative judgments of others, refusing to help those in need. And I feel like there has been a withdrawal here because of this situation. And you can find the strength to let yourself shine again and move forward. We have Femme Fatale. Highlights the erotic energy of the feminine. Opens your heart when your dependency is rejected. Okay? And then we have Shadow attributes. Inappropriate use of sensuality. Attachment to money or power. And this is that also attachment to validation coming through for me. Okay? But opens your heart when your dependency is rejected. Okay, that's a very powerful line here, right? You're still holding your heart open even if you get rejected. Sometimes that's just the way life is. It's just, we can't make everybody we love us back. Sometimes it just doesn't work that way, right? We can't help how we feel about each other, right? Look, we have Angel on the bottom, helping those in need with no expectation in return. Shadow attributes is acting innocent or angelic to mislead others, falsely claiming to be in touch with angelic guidance. Okay, so we don't want to mislead others here, right? We want to come into this place of no expectations. And this is a tricky thing, right? Like this shadow attribute, this comes from when we feel rejected and we want people to see the good in us, and we have a tendency to manipulate others because we want them to see the good in us. And so that's why it's hard. It's hard just to blame the people who have created this codependency within us, when sometimes as the victim, we have to become the empowered victim and say, okay, what was the role that I too played in that? Like, did I come out also feeling that energy? You know, when I let go of an 8-year narcissistic relationship, I came out recognizing that I was manipulating people so that they could see how good I was, right? Rather than just owning that I was a good person. And that was something I had to face, and that was so difficult for me. It was so different because it was like, oh my gosh, like, this is a shadow attribute that I just don't want to look at all. I just want people to see how good I am. I just want people to love me. And then seeing, like, if you're a people pleaser, right? And that's why on this channel, I directly talk about it's not victim shaming. I'm not over here saying, well, you should have just figured it out, because no, it is really hard to let go of situations. Like I said, there's someone here who holds a title in your life. It's really difficult. That's why I was trying, the ancestors are saying, like, when you look at it from this aspect of, does this person do the things that you're dreaming of doing? And if they're not, then why does their opinion hold a light in your life? And only you can answer that, right? And so I've had to go through this, but it was like also looking at what part did you play? Because it takes two to tango. It doesn't mean that you weren't a victim. That absolutely means that you were a victim in a bad situation, but you have to honor the shadow attributes that you also played a part in that situation, right? And that's difficult on this journey because it feels like, oh my gosh, so you're just saying I should just get over it, or I should have just left, or I should have just done that. And it's like, no, it's not that at all. But now that you're out of a situation, or once you get out of the situation, you're growing. Then you get to look at it from a higher aspect. Okay, so we have take a step back. Yeah, exactly. Take a step back and reassess what's going on right now with things in your life. And then we have transformation. Yes. Why? Because you're transforming here. You're growing. There's a lot of growth to be had in this time. And you're doing an amazing job, pile number 3. Okay, this is a very, like I said, this is a very deep, huge message. But one of the things that I did when I got into tarot was to help heal others' shadows aspect. Like, that was one of my biggest things, because it's something that's helped me along the way. It's helped me look at my shadow aspects as well. When we're only looking to tarot to validate how we feel about a situation rather than to dig deeper into our consciousness, which is Jungian theory, right? We're kind of leaving something on the table. And so if you're still here, I want you to know I'm so proud of you. You're doing an incredible job, and it means that you're willing to look at this journey knowing that you have a much larger purpose to get through. Okay, so we also have the Michael message here, which is be a light to others. You have a powerful message to share. Shine your light on the world so that others can learn from you. And we have be the light with the witch. Okay, so this is it. You're meant to shine, and there's something here that the ancestors are trying to help you let go of, because it is casting a shadow over your light. On the bottom, it says you're ready for more. Your career is growing and blossoming. Now is the time to make the changes you have been contemplating. That's why I said, I don't feel like the message I have here is new. I do feel like it is confirmation to what it is that you've been feeling recently, and you just need that extra confirmation, that extra clarification. And I just want you to know you're doing a good job. You're an amazing individual, and you deserve to be celebrated for how far you've come, and you deserve to celebrate yourself, okay? So we have the Goddess Circle, Wheel of Change with number 10 here. So things are changing in your favor. Things are happening here. We also have this beautiful feminine energy. When we think about the femme fatale, these are the dark feminine energies, and that's all about traversing our shadow selves, right? It's connected to the moon. The moon is an attribute of our shadow selves. The goddess is connected to the shadow self. So we have this energy of really learning how to embrace our shadow side and knowing that it is still a part of us, and that no one is free from a shadow self. Like, we all have shadow self, right? So when we honor that and we own that part of ourselves, we begin to grow infinitely. We have Traveler, move in a new direction. Exactly. We're trying to get you out of this energy that you've been in what feels like for so long. And I get it, right? I get it. I feel like we've all had to experience this, or we all will experience this on the journey. Because there's a lot of things that society tells us that we have to clear out. And a lot of it comes with that, well, if this person holds a title in your life, then you have to be loyal no matter what. But if this person is highly toxic to you and your journey, why do we have to hold space for that person in our lives and continually connect with them when they're bringing us lower and casting a shadow over us, right? We're not saying that you have to do that. We do have to honor the role that we played in this situation. I cannot with you, pile 3. We have the moon. Take note of intuitive messages, and this confirms exactly what I was just saying, that this message is a confirmation to something that you have been feeling deeply on a deep core level. Okay, so let's take a look at your ancestor message here. I'm going to read this from the book. What do we got? Yes! Awaken your inner shaman. Connect, invoke, and heal. And shamans, they oftentimes take us through things that are very, very scary. You know, if you've done or if you've learned about ayahuasca, you know that it is oftentimes extremely, extremely scary to go through, but can be incredibly enlightening. And you end up seeing things about yourself that you otherwise wouldn't have seen. I'm not over here advocating ayahuasca, but what I'm saying is that you can absolutely connect with this inner shaman that you have and heal parts of yourself in the night. We're going to shed the light on it and we can let go, right? So it says, for the Tuvans, every part of nature, every rock, river, mountain, animal, and tree has a spirit, a story, and a purpose. They hold great respect for the souls of their ancestors. Nomadic cattle herders who live in yurts, the Tuvians have lived in southern Siberia for thousands of years. As providers of healing, wisdom, ritual, and divination, the shaman is central to the Tuvian society. Shamans walk between worlds to communicate with spirits and provide answers and guidance for the community. Protectors of the earth and guardians of nature, each shaman chooses an apprentice within the family. Thus, shamanic knowledge is shared and preserved through the ages. The path of the shaman calls to you. Focus on your connection with the earth, animals, and nature spirits. Whoever you are, wherever you come from, the shamanic way is open to you. Shamans can be male or female and come from many cultures around the world. A healer, seer, or shaman in your ancestry may have passed their gift or special knowledge to you. If you do not know your family lineage, dig deep and ask the universe to help you discover your ancestor spirits. Connect or continue to connect with the earth, nature, and animal spirits, and you will uncover your ancestral link. You can then tap into this spiritual knowledge and further develop your gifts. So I do feel like there's someone here who is definitely ragging on you for your gifts, and that's not fair. That's just not fair, but at the same time, you have a choice to not let this person back into your energy, right? And so empower yourself right now. You are a natural healer and hold the ability to connect to the restorative light of the universe for yourself and others. It is time to embrace or further your healing path. You've been using these gifts for a long time, over many lifetimes. Each person heals in their own way. You may use words, your hands, or energy to nurture others. Explore different aspects and modalities of the healing arts, such as massage, Reiki, or something that opens you as a channel for rejuvenating energy. You can use anything you learn to benefit yourself and others. When you are healing others, surround yourself with golden light so you don't become drained. When you are ready, invoke the healing energy of the shaman and pass your knowledge on to others. This is absolutely profound. You are meant to help heal the world, and that's what I was saying. It might not be in the way that you expected it to come, right? But it is what you're meant to do. You're meant to be seen around the world, embracing the shadow aspect and really letting this be what changes your fortune, moving on in this new direction and becoming a powerful, profound light to the world. Okay? This is such an intense message. It was really intense from the beginning. It's been intense all throughout pile number 3. But this is what I see for you here. If you feel like this is your message, leave the little moon emoji down below and say, I embrace my inner shadow, knowing that that's how I light the way for others. And if it resonated with you, it means so much to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe below. If you're interested in supporting the channel further, you'll find all those links below in the description box. In order to do so, you can email me for a personal reading. You can follow me on over to my podcast on Spotify at Scatter Love Radio. You can even join as a member, and I would love to see you on memberships, but if not, thank you for your continued support here. I'm going to go ahead and leave this message here and get on out of here. I do want to take a quick second, though, to give a shout out to the ancestors, to your spirit messengers, your guides, source, and my spirit guides for coming together to give us this amazing message. You're an incredible being, pile number 3, giving you this massive energetic hug. Just know that you are so loved, held, and supported. Okay? And until next time, pile number 3, stay human. Bye.